The founder of whistleblowing website WikiLeaks, released on bail by a British court, says he will continue his work. Julian Assange still has to stay in the UK while a decision is made on whether he should be extradited to Sweden on sex charges. Let's now cross live to London, where Laura Emmett joins us. Laura, Assange is out on bail, so what happens next?
He has been released. He came out onto the court steps shortly after his release to make a statement. It's understood that the delay was because the court wasn't content with having the assurances of the people who've put up his bail, which amounts to just under $400,000. They weren't convinced, apparently, that these people would actually come up with the money, even though they are British citizens. Some of them are fairly famous. We're talking about John Pilger, the author and journalist, and Jemima Khan, the socialite. They obviously have houses and other assets that they could have used to guarantee that bail, but the court weren't satisfied until they actually, it seems, had the money in their pockets. So he was eventually released. He came out onto the court steps to make a short statement. The first thing he said was that he was pleased to smell the fresh air of London again. He also said that he'd used the time that he spent in solitary confinement to think about other people who were in a similar position to him around the world, and that it wasn't just him that needed people's support. It was the others too. He thanked his lawyers, obviously. He thanked his supporters who were there in evidence outside the court shouting his name. And he also thanked the British justice system, which he said isn't dead yet. And he said, that, as you say, that he would carry on fighting for what he believes in. He also thanked the press, who he said had done a good job in not being taken in by all this. What happens now is that he goes down to the house of a friend of his, Vaughan Smith, who's the founder of the Frontline Club in London. He will stay there. He will have to wear an electronic tag. He will also have to observe a curfew and report to a local police station every day.
Laura, the appeal against the decision to let Assange out on bail actually came from British prosecutors and not at the request of Sweden. Can you explain why that was? I mean, was it actually a surprise?
Well, there was quite a lot of confusion about that between now and Tuesday, when the last bail hearing was. We understood initially that, in fact, the request to not grant him bail had come from Sweden, that the appeal was coming from the Swedish courts. But we later understood that it was, in fact, at the behest of the Crown Prosecution Service, the British authority. They said that it was unusual for foreign powers to have any say in whether a suspect was released on bail or not. So that's what we understood has been happening here. Assange's supporters are saying that now the British justice system has fallen into step with the Swedish justice system in appealing against that. But apparently that is the system and how it normally works.
Laura, thanks very much indeed for that live update from London. RT's